Welcome everyone to the final episode of the Prepare for Launch guide for Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. It's Hasme here, and I'd like to start with a big fat thank you to you all for the incredible support throughout the series, and I hope this helped you prepare for Ni no Kuni. Official launch time is now announced to be 7 AM UTC on May 25th, tomorrow, and you can already pre-download the game on your phones and connect it to an email that you will be able to use on the PC client available tomorrow. I'll continue to cover the game after launch as well, and I hope you guys will enjoy the content and it's something you look forward to. Now for the final episode, the highly requested character and familiar combos are here. For a full in-depth guide on all the launch familiars, I recommend my familiar tier list video that goes through every single familiar. In this shorter episode, I will specifically list the combinations that I think works for the different classes. First things first, the starting 4-star super rare familiars that you can recognize from the sparkling background in-game are all incredibly powerful, and I will not list them individually in the recommendations since all of them are honestly quite amazing for all the classes, no exceptions. So if you get a super rare 4-star, no matter which one it is, you're good, it's awesome. Instead, I will list most of the normal 4-star familiars and the more situational combinations that are suited for certain classes. This is a quick and easy guide, so it won't take a lot of time, but you'll get a good idea on what familiars are good for your classes. Let's start Destroyer. Destroyer, as we know, is the bulky, tanky, and control character. That's amazing for controlling the battlefield and enduring large amounts of damage. But don't worry, Destroyer is also very capable of doing a lot of damage if it gets close to enemies. My recommended familiars for Destroyer are the ones that counter his weaknesses, such as being slow. First, both the super rare Sui and the normal 4-star Koku are great defensive options for him. Sui will protect against water enemies and offer a flat damage down buff on the Destroyer, while Koku gives a health barrier that also reduces incoming damage from boss enemies. For making the Destroyer more aggressive, the best 4-star for him in my opinion is Flutterby. The reason for this is Flutterby's ability to increase your movement speed by 20%, allowing the Destroyer to get closer a lot more consistently, while also gaining increased defenses such as evasion from your familiar. Next one is the Swordman. We have already established in the character tier list that one of the best abilities for Swordman is Siphon Blade that applies damage down on enemies while also buffing your team at the same time. The weakness of this ability is that it's incredibly slow, and to counter that, we have the perfect familiars. Sparky is a light element familiar that can stun enemies with its active ability for a second, perfectly comboing also with a Swordman's passive that can also stun enemies with his auto attacks. Another great familiar option is Dino Cirrus. He's a dark element familiar that can trip enemies for a second, which means they cannot move, while also applying erosion debuff to increase dark damage. Both familiars are just the right choice to make sure you land your Siphon Blade on enemies, or to stun them during its slow animation to save yourself some health. They're also very good familiars to keep enemies in your abilities, such as Arcane Barrier that blinds them by stunning or tripping them. Similarly, like the Destroyer, Sui and Koku are great defensive options to stay alive longer in melee range as tank familiars. Engineer is mainly our support and healing oriented class. Rooch, the 4-star super rare crab, is a fantastic choice as it increases your healing done and reduces your abilities cooldown. And since you're a healer, all healing buffs are great. Toko, which won't be immediately available at launch, but it's gonna be one of the first events in the game, is your next best choice. Toko is a healing familiar that also reduces cooldowns of your active abilities such as Time Leap, and since Time Leap reduces cooldowns for your whole party, this is a really high tier combo for Engineer to benefit your whole party. Additionally, Toko is a healer familiar, so it will increase your healing capabilities. Moving on to Witch. Witch is a pure DPS glass cannon, and I'd like to focus on that aspect. Witch has its own abilities and passives to boost their critical strike chance and damage, and they also have very fast attack animations that benefit from all that. There's also a universal passive skill that increases critical strike chance that you can equip for even higher rates. Now, Hobgoblin is a 4-star dark familiar that reduces the critical strike defense of enemies while also dealing very respectable damage. He is the perfect combination for Witch since you already have good stun capabilities and combos and damage, and Hobgoblin will make sure you will deal more critical hits for maximum damage potential. And lastly, we have Rogue. Rogue is the most mobile and best long-range character in the game, and we want to make use of that. Kiting is a very effective way of playing the Rogue, and your core abilities also help you with it, as they slow enemies' movement speed or even make the Rogue jump back as an evasion. Additionally, they also have a class passive that gives them movement speed. The best combination to complement this is Flutterby, as Flutterby can give you a 20% movement speed bonus on top of your already high speed, and will guarantee you to be able to kite for as long as you can and remain unscratched. Since the Rogue is also capable of dealing high amounts of damage and fast, they also benefit from the passive critical chance skill, and can combine it with the 4-star Hobgoblin just like Witch to reduce enemy critical strike defenses and deal more damage. If you would like to focus more on the supportive role of Rogue, then any of the familiars that reduce cooldowns works exactly the same as Engineer, because it will reduce the cooldown of your Blazing Heart, thus giving damage buff more to your allies. And that is the end of this fast class and familiar combinations video, everyone. These are the combos I think that really stand out at the beginning. And as I mentioned, the super rare familiars are really all good for everyone, no matter what. For additional info, check out my in-depth familiar tier list. It's all explained there too, and look forward to launch. It's less than a day now, so exciting. I'll be live streaming every day, so if you want to see that, follow my Twitch account and I'll see you there. Thank you for the support, everyone. I really hope this game will be amazing and you'll all enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.